All right, we should be live.
Really?
Yeah.
We should be.
Should be.
I'm not seeing it on the YouTube.
I don't have the link to it.
I see that it says we're live,
be.
but yeah, it's
Oh, yep. I'm
sometimes
seeing
takes a sec.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
It says we're live, but
There we go. I can see it.
but are we? Can you?
We are.
Yeah.
We are for real.
I love that every single one of our live streams starts with us talking about how are we live?
Are we live?
But a
It's
bunch
because
of
when
old
you hit the
men.
button on Zoom, you're
Uh-huh.
presented with a progress bar that loads. Even
Yes.
while it says on Zoom that we're live on YouTube, it's still like redirecting to the page. So
It's still not showing up for me.
yeah, well, we're here.
Let me see why I believe you.
We're on the internet.
But it's just not
Seem
showing
like
up.
You believe him.
It's
On
not
the
showing up for me
internet.
for
Yeah.
whatever. Oh wait,
That's
there.
too bad.
If I click on the
too bad.
videos tab, there it is. If
Yeah.
I do that, there it is.
Vidjos. Welcome to
Yeah, it
Vidjos.
is. Yeah.
There it is.
Hello and welcome to episode 689 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with let's start that over. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
Wishing all our Newfoundland listeners, there must be lots of them. The safe
At least-
recovery
at
from
least a
the
few.
weather bomb.
Yeah.
You get hit with a
Doesn't
lot of
sound
snow.
good. Doesn't sound
Mm.
good. Yeah. And from the great state of Washington, Mr. Filthy Evolved.
Hey man,
How's it going?
is that Freedom Rock?
Yeah, man.
Well, turn it up. There you go.
That's good.
There you go.
very good.
Classic television commercial
Indeed.
for Freedom Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Freedom Rock.
Yep.
They don't have that anymore.
I don't know
No,
what we're talking about.
not with all the modern day streaming services.
I know.
Is
Don't
there
need
a
it.
is there a
Don't need
Freedom Rock
I mean,
channel on Spotify?
with how
Spotify-
long?
Does Spotify have channels?
I don't know.
They have
I use Apple
playlists.
Music. I
Playlists?
use Apple Music
Yeah.
for mine. But hey, man, Freedom Rock really missed a trick there. They could have done like 25 different volumes. Like now, that's what I call music does.
Mm,
Now that's what I call music.
it's true. Now
That's
that's
funny
because
because when I see those advertised,
Yeah.
I remember buying some of those when I was a teenager.
Oh,
Oh, really?
absolutely.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you remember like in the early 80s, they didn't have like singles. So you would get those sort of like KTEL records would put out like
the
this.
KTEL.
All the hits of 1982.
They did have singles.
Of course, they had singles.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't buy
have been a
singles.
thing
I
for
bought-
I mean,
like from before when we were born. It was-
like
I guess,
like
I guess
vinyl.
you're right.
our
you're right.
grandparents had
you
singles.
know, they had like
I
vinyl
guess you're right.
singles. You
I
know,
guess
like the,
you're right,
the
but I didn't,
45s and stuff.
cassettes. They
Yeah.
had cassette singles too.
Oh, of course they did. They
weren't
absolutely.
very
I,
did.
prominent.
You're
but they
I
existed.
owned-
You're right.
I owned plenty of cassette singles.
I owned.
But I remember in the early 80s before I really browsed the singles area
Oh,
of
We're just trying to keep you from looking stupid, CJ.
yeah.
the local record store. You'd get those compilation vinyls.
Right,
that
right.
had,
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
all the
I
hits.
loved those because I mean they were great because you didn't have to buy a bunch of tapes.
Yeah, you didn't have to buy the full
All
album,
on
which
one tape.
probably
Yeah.
had.
Who the
only,
hell
like,
wants to
2
listen to the
songs
rest
you
of the album
wanted.
anyway?
Yeah.
Exactly.
CJ, of course, just bought the Kids Bop versions. Where it's the
Oh,
kids
the-
covering them.
Did Kids Pop exist
No.
back then, or was it just
No.
mini pops?
Well, that's how CJ listened to that Two Live Crew album.
The kids' bop
Imagine.
version.
You
Yeah.
imagine
the one that
Mini
his mom made
Pops.
him sit and listen to with her. Yeah,
mini pops, nasty as they want to be.
that was the kids.
Are you
Kid
guys
Bop.
know what I'm talking about when I say mini pops, right?
No.
Was that a thing in the
I don't-
United
I don't-
States?
That must have
really.
been a Canada thing.
It was,
Was it
actually
ju-
a
was it
UK
just-
thing,
Oh, was it really?
but then it came here.
Was it
But I didn't. KTEL did it, or
top
KTEL
top of the
released it.
pops? Is that what that is?
But I think I'm
a
curious.
UK
I'll
thing.
bet you Kids
Yeah.
Pop was actually based on the mini pops.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that it wasn't in.
Yeah, that as far as
The
I know, that
US.
was not a US thing.
I'll have to look that up and see which came first, but I'm pretty sure it was the mini pops.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, UK came before the US anyway. I mean, just
in
as
general.
a country.
What else was I going to say? Oh, my son has discovered death metal versions of 80s pop songs
Oh, jeez.
on Spotify. So I'm sitting here like he was listening to Land Down Under.
a virgin.
Was the last one.
Come on, Eileen.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. He just sits here listening to it's like, what are you listening to? And then he starts headbanging. They're not bad to be.
Really?
They're pretty well
good.
done.
Yeah.
I just want to sit around for the rest of the show, just
doing.
I'll have to send you a link, CJ, so you can run one of them at the end of the show.
hungry like the wolf.
You'll love them.
I like how
sure I
CJ's
would.
death metal is just like dying old man.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Hungry like the wolf.
I don't
CJ's
want
death metal is the most recent performance by Duran Duran.
I'm on the hunt. I'm after you.
I don't want to yell into the microphone and have my levels spike. That's not what I'm about.
CJ,
As an artist, that's not what I'm
CJ?
about.
As an artist.
if it's too loud, CJ, you're too old.
That's true.
That's what we're
Very
learning
true.
today. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about some video game news?
I don't know.
I don't
Kind
know.
of
we
like
should.
in the death metal 80s.
Because last week kicked off with the information that Sony is not going to be at E3.
Actually, real
2020.
quick,
out.
CJ, Greg,
What's up?
Greg,
Mm.
was there a death metal version of 99 Luftballons?
There probably is, but
Because
I
that
don't know.
I'm sure there
work.
is. I'm sure
that
there is.
would really work if it's the original.
The other
German.
ones work surprisingly well too.
Really?
I will have to send you a link to a playlist because
Okay.
you'll be surprised.
Okay, then. So what's going on in the video game, CJ?
Sony skipping
Sony.
E3 2020.
Again?
Not gonna be at E3.
Just like me.
this year again. Yeah.
I haven't put up my press release yet, but I also will not be at E3 2020.
Same. Yeah. I'm delaying the press release.
No.
Just to give it some space from Sony, so that
yeah,
you know.
world exclusive.
Tune into Seward Direct, however, which will be a 30-minute video presentation on what Greg's going to be doing for the upcoming fiscal year.
Yes. So the quote from a
The latest
spokesman.
spin-off of Fire Emblem. Sorry.
Quote from a spokesman says, after thorough evaluation,
Mhm.
SIE, that's Sony Interactive Entertainment, has decided
Sigh.
not to participate in E3 2020. We have great respect for the ESA as an organization, but we do not feel the vision of E3 2020 is the right venue for what we are focused on this year.
Is great respect in quotes?
No.
Oh, okay.
We will build upon our global event strategy in 2020 by participating in hundreds of consumer events across
But
the
not
globe.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not this one. Our focus is on making sure fans feel part of the PlayStation family and have access to play their favorite content. We have a fantastic lineup of titles coming to PlayStation 4, and with the upcoming launch of PlayStation 5, we are truly looking forward to a year of celebration with our fans. So there you go.
Translation, we don't need E3.
Up yours, ESA.
We don't need E3.
Up your nose.
with a rubber hose.
I will say, like in the previous in
Yeah.
the years up to like 2018 when Sony was there, and they had playable things, you had to use an app to sign up for the queues to play those games,
Mhm.
and oftentimes it would be full immediately. Like
Mm.
you had no shot of
Because
getting
the
in.
internet sucks.
Even at Sony's own events, like PlayStation Experience, that was the case. So I do hope whatever they are planning, because I know a lot of people will want to get their hands on PlayStation 5, they have some kind of better system to make sure that enough of their fans get access to that. So, and I guess we won't have too long to wait, because was it David Jaffe said something on Twitter about the PlayStation 5 event being in close by or in a few weeks, and then
Well, I mean, it makes sense that it would be.
yeah, our friend of the show, Patrick Klepek, said on a podcast that February is going to be big for PlayStation. So, I mean, and they typically have that PlayStation meeting in Japan in February's anyway. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess we'll find out more soon. about what they're going to do. And hopefully they'll sort of at that point line up which shows they are going to be at with PlayStation 5, because I know a lot of people are going to be obviously excited about Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, but
I mean, the problem is that, like what you said, it's going to be a zoo. Wherever that ends up, it's going to be a zoo.
it's going to be a zoo.
Like,
Yeah, whatever event. Like, and I don't know of any like a PAX or Gamescom. Those are already like hugely attended events where you're going to have to wait a long time.
I can wait till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Although I have started my fund for a 4K TV.
Oh, all right.
Started saving this month. Yeah, well, I mean, I want to upgrade because I do want to get. I'm thinking I'm going to grab a PlayStation 5 this year.
Yeah,
I might wait on
that's going to be your
the
platform
Xbox
of choice.
Yeah. Might wait on the Xbox if they're talking about not having. I shouldn't say
and
that.
you've
there
decided
will be
that
games for the Xbox
before they even announce any games.
Well, I mean, it could change if they, But anyway.
Okay.
My point being, and also sort of running off of the fact that I rarely play my Xbox at this point.
Right. You're pretty firmly entrenched in the PlayStation ecosystem.
So it's like, it's a good time to upgrade because I'm still rocking the old LG 3D TV that's 1080p. And also, I'm finally extremely sick of the screen lag on this television. I don't play games on my big television very often anymore.
Really?
Because I just can't. No, I can't take it because the monitor I grabbed, which is right here, that I use for streaming, has very little lag.
Okay.
So I'm really used to not having it. And so, yeah, I just realized like I'm sitting here playing on this tiny little monitor when I'm playing games. I've got a 65-inch TV right there that I never use for games.
But I wonder if, whatever TV you get, you have to check what the lag is there.
I was leaning towards the TCL
monitor. Oh, and the TCL is better than your current.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the best. Yeah, almost anything's better than my current TV.
Yeah, I have a TCL, and I honestly do not notice
it's
lag
unless
I'm
one
playing
of the best
something
TVs
like
for that.
Rock Band or Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah,
which the Parappa remaster on PS4 never felt right.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
It just never felt like I was playing it right. And even when I was that way. And then we got a bunch of delay announcements.
A whole bunch.
So
everyone's getting in on the party.
Everybody is getting in on it. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake moves from March 3rd to April 10th. And then you have the Avengers moving as well from May to September. And then you have CD Projekt Red, who announced pretty close to the Square Enix announcements that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to launch on September 17th, 2020. So a bigger jump there. It was originally supposed to come out in April?
I'll take your word for that.
I think. Yeah.
Sure.
So not coming out until September. So I know you guys are very upset.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
delay.
I mean,
you're clearly distraught.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, I do want to play Avengers.
Yeah.
Even with the likenesses of the characters being what they are. Like...
we were talking about this last night at dinner. And I love what the studio's done with Tomb Raider.
It really does look.
Avengers doesn't look good.
It looks like they're stunt doubles.
Yeah, it looks like
really
that scene in Spaceballs.
Yeah, I know that they can't use the movie likenesses. Right, but they can't do that. But
I think
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 did it, right?
CJ's not going to let me talk, so
I'm not going to let you talk. But go ahead and talk.
I don't think it's the fact that they're not using the likenesses. I think that is a tad bit jarring because we've become so familiar with those actors as those characters in the last 15 years. But even if that wasn't the case, they just don't look that good.
Yeah.
There's something weird. There's something off about those models. I don't know what it is. But I'm not... But I still want to play it because it's Avengers, and it's because it's from that studio, and I really enjoy the games that studio makes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm a little bit
Well,
torn on that.
yeah. I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, I really have no interest in the Avengers, so I don't think I'll be playing it. Final Fantasy VII Remake being delayed. It's only a month, so it's not too bad. And I don't think I'm gonna play that anyway. I'll play the demo. There's supposed to be a demo leaked. That it exists anyway.
You mean the announcement of a demo leaked?
The announcement, yeah, the existence of a demo
Yes, there you go.
leaked.
Wow.
Yeah, whenever that comes out, I'll play that. I'll try that, but I don't expect that I'll pick that up. Yeah,
and I want to play Cyberpunk, but I mean, I know that even if I do play it, I'll probably play about as much of that as I did Witcher 3. And I'll probably love every minute of it, but I'll never finish it. So,
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
We got a new Doom Eternal trailer.
We did.
That is on schedule to launch on March 20th. Same day as Animal Crossing. I won't be playing that because Doom 2016 gives me motion sickness, so I won't be playing it.
Muffin.
Sorry. I can't do it.
That's the reason you won't be playing it. We all know you won't be playing it because Animal Crossing comes out that day.
Well, and that too.
Which is okay. It's okay.
And
CJ.
Animal Crossing's coming out. So yeah, I'll be playing Animal Crossing, not Doom. You guys watch that trailer? Are you excited for Doom?
Did, and I am.
For which? Doom?
Doom.
I really have to play Doom 2016.
It is a good game.
I acknowledge that it's a
know.
good game. I could only play the first couple levels before I
very
had to
good game.
Stop. Otherwise, I would have
too scary.
blown chunks.
Too.
If you're gonna spew into this.
Yes.
Yikes.
Speaking of trailers,
Yeah.
got a trailer for a new movie starring Daniel Radcliffe. Guns Akimbo is what it's called.
Looks awesome.
It's not a video game.
This must be nice.
It's a video game movie like that Ryan Reynolds one we got a few months ago. Your friend Ryan Reynolds.
Ah, yes. He did star in a video game movie recently.
What is the name of that one? Something
Extra guy, or
nice guy, or
Super guy.
super guy.
No.
Check out this guy.
It must be nice as an actor, like
Free guy.
Daniel Free Guy. That's it. Daniel Radcliffe, where he's got so much Harry Potter FU money that he can just do whatever he wants.
Well, he has just been doing
really
weird crap.
weird roles.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
and I mean, good for him. You know, it's brave.
What was the Swiss Army Man?
Swiss Army Man or whatever it was
Yeah.
called. Yeah, where he
he
played a dead body the whole
Yeah.
time. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Dude's breaking out, He doesn't
Why
want to be
not?
typecast.
Yeah.
Who can
Why
blame
not?
him?
Yeah.
But I do want to see that. Guns Akimbo looks like something I want to see.
Yeah.
We went and saw.
If you have not watched the trailer, go watch it because Daniel Radcliffe has two pistols fused to his hands.
Yeah.
And then has to compete in a sort of life or death game, real life game, not video.
It's like
game.
Fortnite the movie.
Like Fortnite the movie.
like the Hunger Games
Exactly.
slash
Yes.
slash
Have
Battle
you,
Royale.
did you see Crank?
No.
You guys ever see
Did
Crank?
I see?
Oh,
Crank?
the little brain dude in the robot
Jesus.
suit who fights the
No.
Ninja Turtles.
No.
Shredder!
Jason Statham movie
It's a pretty
called
good
Crank.
Where's my body, Shredder? Yeah. I love Crank.
If you've not seen it, and I don't believe that Phil has,
Absolutely. Did you not hear that spot on impression?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
he might have
clearly.
been in it.
Where's
Yeah.
Bebop and Rocksteady? I'm getting a little Jimmy Stewarty there.
you might
Yeah.
remember the Shakespearean
Well, hi, Shredder.
work of Crank. No, it's very much like a video game. Or
Oh,
even the main title.
Those turtles love their pizza.
The main title of Crank is like a title screen from a game.
Oh,
Kind of fun. But anyway,
Okay.
I highly recommend watching
this-
Crank.
is this
If you're
like
not,
You're recommending
really good.
Crank?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch Crank.
Really?
Yes,
Is
I
this
find
like,
it on streaming and watch it.
Is it like
there are people
Har-
in the chat saying that Crank is good.
Crank
like-
is great.
Is it like Hardcore Henry?
Isn't Crank the whole thing like he
maybe.
has to keep moving or else he'll die or something
Yes,
like that?
that's
That's
correct.
Speed.
It's Speed, but without the bus.
It's speed
but
without
on
the
foot.
bus. It's
Yeah.
Speed on foot with Jason Statham.
It's Die Hard in a body.
That's exactly what it is.
And Hardcore Henry was the Sega CD movie. That was the Digital Pictures movie. Where the whole movie was first person.
Hardcore
You
Henry.
remember that?
I do
mean
remember
Wi-
that.
do you mean
Actually,
Wired?
Yeah, I do remember
Huh?
that.
Do you mean
Yeah.
Wired or Wirehead? Wirehead.
No. No, the
What?
movie. No,
Hardcore
there's
Henry
a,
is a movie.
there's a movie. There's an actual movie called Hardcore Henry.
What?
Have you not
Yeah.
seen the? Go look
No.
at the trailers for this movie called Hardcore Henry. It looks like a Digital Pictures game, but
Because it's an entirely first-person game.
but
Of
I
course,
mean,
there
it's
is
or
the
movie.
Digital Pictures movie. There is a Digital Pictures movie that
yeah, called
exists.
Game Over.
Oh yeah, wasn't there like a video online that someone did where they did a whole thing that it was all completely first person, and then this is what ended up happening with they
I
got
think
that
so,
person to do
yeah.
a feature length
I believe so.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Supreme Warrior,
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
but it's in theaters. Or
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it came out of an
yeah.
early like
Yeah, it was like a
YouTube
short
thing.
You're
something.
probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
I believe that is the case.
I was
As
gonna
the
say, though-
curator of the Hardcore Henry Wikipedia page, I can say for a
I can
fact
say that.
that you are correct.
I was gonna say that we went and saw 1917 last night.
Oh yeah?
How was it?
It was really good. It wasn't last night. It was 2 nights ago. It was really good. And I guess I guess I should say spoiler.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys won't.
This is the
care
this is
about-
the
Are you gonna go
World
see this
War
movie?
One movie, right?
Yeah, I think this is actually well known, but just in case it's not, I'm just
Is
throwing
it-
a
are you-
spoiler warning.
Is it like the outcome of the war? Because I think most people are aware.
The entire film
Uh-huh.
is one long shot.
I heard that. I
Really?
did
It's
hear
It's pretty
that.
impressive. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's some trickery involved, obviously,
Right.
because that would be insane.
They didn't
But,
actually
um,
film.
It's not like an OK Go video.
But I mean, it was really cool. 'Cause I went- No, it's exactly like an OK Go video. They actually say that. They actually thank
The
OK
90
Go
minute
right at the
OK
beginning
Go
of the
video.
movie.
That's the first line.
Right at the
Okay,
right at the very
go. And
right
as
at the
they're
very
running through
beginning
the
of
trenches.
1917
Yeah.
film. This movie about World War One. Special thanks, OK Go.
And then
Yeah.
like the whole the soundtrack is just a bunch of OK Go songs.
Of
Well,
course.
it's like, well, what else
Yeah.
were they listening to
Yeah.
during World War One?
yeah.
Oh,
But no,
boy.
it's like it's
There's
I don't
also
think
an
they
Easter
use-
egg where if you look really hard in the top right of the corner of the screen during one of the battles, you can see the members of OK Go on treadmills. Anyway,
Is that a reference to something?
yes.
What is that a reference to?
One of their
I'm assuming
videos
an
where
OK
they
Go
dance
video.
around
Was it?
on treadmills.
Oh, but I mean, like up in the corner.
I feel like
is that
I feel like even if you didn't know the reference, you could have guessed that.
But I'm just the
in the corner of the
specifics of
battle
it
scene in
being up in the
1917. Yeah,
corner.
it's like the Starbucks cup in the
because
Game of
I was
Thrones.
thinking of
Yeah, but the Starbucks cup wasn't an Easter egg; it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
you got me thinking
wa-
of like
it wasn't.
Fight
You're
Club,
making. If it was
when-
like that, it would mean that OK Go was just working out and they happened to be in the shot.
when he's talking
Hmm.
about the little cigarette burns up in the corner in Fight Club. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what you got me thinking of there.
I see.
that's weird. Anyway,
I'm
it
always
was all
thinking
done
of
in
Fight
one shot,
Club.
and I don't think they used like a lot of. I don't think they used any digital special effects to mask it.
That can't be right.
No,
I-
I was reading like
that
they
can't
would.
be right.
There's moments where
So
they.
this movie
swing
took
the
like 2 hours to film.
You let me finish. There's moments where they'll swing the camera behind something that obscures the actors, obviously. And apparently,
Right.
what they did is they stopped
That
tape
masks
right
the
there,
shot. Yeah. Okay.
and then they would restart at exactly that point again.
They didn't.
When
They
continue
didn't
to shoot.
CG like a dewback walking in front of the camera or something.
Well, no, the dewbacks are still in there,
Oh, okay.
but they weren't
Okay.
used to hide
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, Guns Akimbo. That looks
I hate
great.
this show.
Yeah. Are there any CG dewbacks in that,
Probably.
or Rontos? I
Were
believe.
there any CG dewbacks in Ready Player One?
Oh,
I'm
probably.
sure there were.
I can't
Right?
imagine. The movie's like 90% CG dewbacks. and a
Surprised there weren't
bikes.
more.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this.
The big final battle is just a bunch of guys on Dubaks and a bunch of guys on Akira bikes, just banging into each other.
1992 me would be
Just
all
banging.
into that. I'd pay $17 at the movie
And then
theater to see
it
that.
occasionally cuts away to Ernest Cline furiously masturbating.
nah.
This is what I dreamed.
Now I'm not so interested.
Very interested.
All right. Last week we also got a rumor from Jason Schreier
Jason
of
Mewes.
Kotaku, who says that he was able to verify from 3 different sources that Horizon Zero Dawn, the 2017 game from Sony, is coming out on the PC.
So why is this big news?
Because Sony has not released any of their
Okay,
first
that's
party
why.
titles on PC.
All right.
Quantic Dream did it, Detroit and Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls last year. And actually Sony Interactive Entertainment released Ready Set Heroes on Epic Game Store last year to almost no fanfare. But it was a Sony game that came out on the EGS, and it had crossplay with the PlayStation version. So, and of course, Death Stranding, published by Sony on PS4, is coming to the PC later this year, but via 505 Games. And so, yeah, this is basically the first big Sony exclusive that is coming to PC.
Well, it's one of 2 that they're releasing on the same day, as you'll recall.
What do you mean?
Well, it's Horizon Zero Dawn and Hook. The Sega CD version of Hook that has the really good John Williams soundtrack.
Yeah. The Red Book audio.
Dun, 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 dun,
That really is the best part of that
dun,
game.
dun, 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 dun. Oh,
There's
yeah,
not much
for
else
sure.
to be excited about in that game.
So,
well, of course, the other rumor is that there is a PC version of Dreams from Media Molecule coming at some point. But that
is that
obviously has not
game
been announced yet.
Is that game officially? Is it still in like beta or?
They released a beta last year, but it comes out on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
this
well, there you go.
Next month. So,
all right,
yeah, coming out soon. But so yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn apparently coming to PC. 3 sources that Jason got that from, and it kind of blew up. A lot of some Sony fans, some PlayStation fans, not exactly happy about it.
That's weird, man.
Which is weird, but
that's really weird.
I mean, it's a game for 2017.
How dare they be able to play my system's game? That's dumb.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
And the rumor is that both Steam and Epic Game Store. So, although that might not be finalized,
I was going to say that'll change. And
Well,
then they'll
could you
have something
imagine-
new to be angry about.
Could you imagine if
exactly?
If not only was it a PS4 game coming to PC, but if it was only on Epic Game Store?
I know.
Like,
I really hope that
would
happens.
really ruffle some feathers.
What are you supposed to get mad at there?
Although
Everything.
I think Ooblets was the last time that I remember like a developer getting in hot water for announcing Epic Game Store exclusivity. Like obviously there have been a number of games announced since that time that I don't think have gotten as much ire. So maybe that's over. I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, Horizon Zero Dawn. I need to play more of that game. I really didn't play it on PS4 because it came out right around the same time as the Switch, and I was too busy playing Zelda Breath of the Wild to play Horizon.
I see.
Yeah. And of course, you guys played it. You guys played it and finished it, right?
No,
I played a bit of it. I liked what I played of it.
So what do you think about this move? You know, obviously Microsoft has been releasing their first party titles on PC day and date for a few years now, and that's worked out for them? ? I mean, I don't think they really talk digital sales numbers, so it's hard to really say if it's worked or not. But I remember when Microsoft announced that whole Play Anywhere thing and that they were going to be doing first party titles day and date, I was personally confused because it's like I thought you wanted to sell Xbox hardware, and obviously their strategy is completely changed, where they're more about where Microsoft is more about getting people into the ecosystem and playing Microsoft's games, Xbox Game Studios games on any platform where they're able to put them. So do you think that's where Sony will go as well? Is this sort of a harbinger of what the next generation will bring, or what do you think of this move?
I mean, it could be them testing the waters, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're nearly as far down that path as Microsoft seems. I mean, they're definitely not in execution, but also I think as far as planning goes, like, I don't know. I think it's probably going to be way easier for them to sort of put out feelers, but sit back and kind of watch how it goes with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sure. And, Death Stranding uses the same engine that Horizon Zero Dawn uses. So that getting brought to PC
Means
starts
nothing.
to make a little sense, I guess, if you think of, trying to get that engine to be cross-platform. Yeah, it's an interesting development. Let's see what Sony ends up doing, if they end up going down the same path as Microsoft and doing sort of day and date type of things, or if they're going to have more of a lag between when games come out. On,
I mean, it makes, even if they just do a lag, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, why not do that?
Yeah, I think it's a in large part an entirely different audience. Like, I think obviously there is crossover for people who play games on PC and PlayStation 4 now, but I think there is probably a large market of people who play on PC that don't have PS4s that they could address. So anyway, I think that means that it's time for what you've been playing. We don't have any tweet. I guess I'll kick us off.
That was weird.
That was weird.
He paused like he was waiting for something, and
I did.
I didn't know what to do, man.
We don't have a theme tune for that. Maybe you should come up with one, Phil. Get on that, along with your script for the outro.
I was going to say, just as soon as you finish the script for the outro.
What you been playing? Where we learn about how the sausage gets made.
Wait,
no,
I've heard that
derivative.
Anyway, I've been playing Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
What is this, like 1997?
No. So Activision released a remake last year that's both the original Crash and the sequel in one package, and that came out on PS4, Xbox, and Switch. And they had been supporting it with Grand Prix content, which is like an event content thing, sort of like a battle pass, actually, where the more you play, the more rewards you unlock, and you can unlock new carts. And with each new Grand Prix, they introduce a new track and introduce new stuff to the game. I think they're up to 50 different characters from the Crash Bandicoot series.
Wow.
Quick,
who knew there were 50 different characters in the Crash
4
Bandicoot series?
Neocortex, Crash Bandicoot, Coco, and
there you go. You've hit the limit. You've hit the limit.
I can name 3.
The Mask.
Oh wait,
Jim Carrey.
Ruru.
Ruru.
ROO. Yes. Because I unlocked Ruru.
You're making that up.
No, I'm serious.
Is Ruru a kangaroo?
Yes, Ruru is a kangaroo.
Is this a Rare game?
No,
I was under the impression
it's a Naughty
that was
Dog game.
Diddy Kong.
Naughty Dog.
Because there's that Tiki Mask, right? That's a character, right?
I guess you're right.
What's the Tiki's mask name?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. 3.
I don't know.
There's like 3 characters anyone would care about in that game.
True.
And let's be honest, Coco's pushing it.
Coco is pushing it, right? Which is
you have Crash's
sister.
You have Neo. Is it his sister?
I don't know.
Girlfriend? Niece?
Something.
Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows, but that's not important because it's a character in a racing game.
So it's those characters and 47 other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Those characters and 47 others. Yes, exactly. But I've started playing that and I'm really enjoying it. You know, like obviously Mario Kart 8 came out a while ago on the Wii U and then it was released on the Switch. And I played through it there as well. But kind of got a hankering for some more kart racing.
Kind of hankering for some spankering.
Yep. And so I picked up CTR, announced the new Grand Prix event. And it's really a lot of fun. Like it has a lot of the things that Mario Kart has, obviously, with power-ups and
the quality.
But
ouch.
I actually really like the quality of the tracks in this version. Like they're really well done. And the story mode, you sort of work your way through a hub world doing races and challenges. And yeah, and it's even the single player is in a way a live service type experience because you earn experience points that unlock new stuff, and if you play on the weekends you actually get double coins for things.
Jesus.
So
I hate every piece of this conversation.
But I think it's really well done, and the amount of content that they've added to it is really impressive. And I really hope that when Nintendo puts out another Mario Kart, it's run in this sort of way where you have like ongoing content where you can always come back to it and find something to do or unlock. That's what I want out of a Mario Kart. So I'm very pleased with Crash Team Racing, and it's a really good game as well. So you're shaking your head like you don't want.
You gotta
that.
get away
Why?
from the whole FOMO thing.
Why? Why?
Because I know. I hate this whole play this at this particular date or you're gonna miss out crap. Because that's all it is. It's preying on fear of missing out and drives me crazy. Mostly because I don't have the time not to miss out.
Mostly because you're always missing out.
Right. It's absolutely it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
and
I
plus,
mean, I love.
Plus, it also
I
sounds
loved-
like another excuse to make you pay for things.
Well, and they did. So when CTR Nitro Fueled first came out, they did not have microtransactions in it. They later did introduce them, but the Grand Prix events that they have, you can play all that content. That's not something you're charged for. So you get a new track and you get new racers and new things to unlock without having to pay for it.
Okay.
So, and you can earn all those coins in game and unlock more stuff. You don't have to buy it.
Sounds like a slippery slope.
So obviously it's a paid for game. But I'm really having fun with it. I really like it, and it runs really well on the Switch. Initially, when it came out, it had like a super long load time, but they have since patched it and cut that down quite a bit. And developer Beanox just has done a great job bringing Crash Team Racing into the new generation.
All right.
So I was having a lot of fun with it. I'm playing it on the plane, having a lot of fun retrying races because you have to get first in a race to unlock like the next batch of tracks. So I was just retrying races over and over again until I won. So
I also hate that. Okay.
Why? You also hate
having
that?
to win to unlock things? No. That's really terrible old design.
I don't know. I was having fun with it. So obviously you can play it online and race all those tracks separately, but I was playing through the story mode that is offline. So just to get my feet wet.
Well, you want to play the story mode to get Ruru's backstory.
Right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's very important. But anyway, anyone who is sort of hankering for Mario Kart style game that isn't currently getting it from Nintendo, although I really hope they do announce something soon.
Yeah.
Just
too.
because Mario Kart 8, I played it on the Wii U, so it wasn't really feeling all that new when it came out on the Switch. I want new content, and they did such a great job with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'd love to see what they can do with it.
You realize you're playing a remake of a game from 20 years ago, right?
I know. Yeah.
25 years ago.
I know, but it's CTR is great fun. Anyway, Greg, what do you got for us?
Our friend of the show, John Riccardi, sent me a code for the Switch version of 1980X.
Oh, he sent you a code.
Yep.
Not the
All
rest
right
of us.
then. Thanks, John.
8.4.
Yes.
Is I believe they did the localization work, but they're also publishing the game in Japan.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
So I played this game last year. I talked about it last year when I played it on Steam. And it's basically this really interesting little, it's only a couple hours long, story about sort of a coming of age story, but centered around arcades, centered around an arcade.
Yeah.
And it's all, it's narrated by the character's just called the kid, talking about like growing up in suburbia and, desperately wanting freedom and sort of the transition from childhood to adulthood and all that thing. But again, framed around playing different 80s style arcade games. It's all done with pixel art. It's beautiful. It sounds beautiful. It looks beautiful. And the way it's centered around arcade games is every now and then you'll actually just jump into games that are more or less an homage to things like Final Fight, Outrun, Gradius, and things like that. And they're really well done. Like you only play about a level of each, but what's there is really well done.
Nice.
And again, the music is fantastic. Yuzo Koshiro actually has a track or two.
Oh, nice.
In the game as well. But yeah, it's coming to Switch, and so I was playing it today. I played through most of it this afternoon after I got home from my son's hockey game to make sure that I could talk about it on the show tonight. But I highly recommend it. I highly recommended it last year when it was on Steam, and of course now that it's coming to a console and it's coming to Switch, you should really check it out because it's only episode 1. They're planning the next episode of
really
the story. Yeah, so
that's cool.
I feel like the better it sells, the sooner they'll get episode 2 out because they probably
it looked cool. I'm rather interested in playing, and it comes out in like
is it this week? On the 23rd this week.
Okay, so yeah,
and $10. So
good,
not pricey.
More than worth it at that price.
Excellent.
So yeah, I think you'll really dig it, Phil. In fact,
I'm sure
I hope
will.
you do grab it because I would love to hear your thoughts
I fully intend to.
Yeah. And to anyone who's listening, you're not getting, I'll be very clear, you're not getting full versions of these games.
Right.
But you're getting like a level of each surrounded by a fully narrated story that's pretty cool, especially if you're old enough to remember when arcades were a thing. When you went, if you're old enough to remember seeing cigarette holders bolted to the side of your arcade cabinets.
Oh my gosh.
This is the era. That's the era we're talking about.
Are you sculpting little miniature cigarette holders to bolt onto the
really
side of
should.
your
I was totally thinking
Tempest
about the other
machine?
day.
Yeah.
You need to put a few little burns in the, because there was always at least a little burn in the console
absolutely. Yeah.
So, so that's really all I've been playing. But I want to thank John for that. And everybody should know it's coming out end of the week, and you should absolutely buy it.
I will be checking it out for sure.
Very cool.
Yes.
Phil, you have a kind of monster list here.
Yeah, it's a big list.
You have a monster. Actually, first of all, you know what? I want to tell you this. Have you guys seen this that's been floating around the Twitter today? This guy who modified the Xbox adaptive controller. Have you seen this video? So there's this fellow, Rory Steele, which can't be the guy's real name because it's too cool.
Stage name.
His hacker alias is @JerseyITGuy. Okay. But he has a daughter who has some sort of accessibility needs. I don't I think she's in like a wheelchair or something. I don't know exactly what her condition is, but he modified one of the, those Xbox adaptive controllers that they have. He modified it so it can work on the Switch, because apparently a bunch of his daughter's friends are like super into Breath of the Wild, and she wanted to play it, but she couldn't with the standard controller. So he modified this controller, and there's a video of this elaborate kind of Frankenstein controller, but she's got it there kind of mounted. Well, it's probably just sitting. It's probably not permanently mounted to her chair. But it's
that would not seem practical,
but it totally functions, and you can see her playing the game, and she's just like, got this.
That's great. Wouldn't it be great if
this incredible grin on her face? She's like super stoked to be playing it. So
I sincerely doubt this would ever happen, but wouldn't it be amazing if they could sort of package that as something that was actually sellable to people?
Yeah,
right.
And like Microsoft and Nintendo got behind it.
Yeah, or just have
incredible.
almost like an accessibility or like an adaptive controller that could be played on anything. Yeah. That would be great.
I feel like that would probably be the next step anyway. We've said this multiple times in the show, but I feel like you can't say it enough. Yeah. Microsoft should get tons of credit for that adaptive control.
Absolutely.
It's a hugely important piece of hardware, and where they also seem to be pushing towards not just being a hardware manufacturer in the gaming space. It would be. I don't think it'd be that surprising to see them set it up so that controller could be more versatile as far as what it can connect to.
Yeah, but track down that video. Like I said, it's floating around Twitter today.
I will link to it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. So it is delightful.
Excellent.
What have I been playing? So I do have none of it's like super crazy, a lot to talk about. I've been playing a little more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
Which I am still enjoying quite a bit. I think last week I mentioned that I haven't really been encountering any sort of technical glitches or anything that I know people have complained about in that game.
Right.
That is no longer the case.
That went out the window.
Yeah, no, it's not glitch free. It's not bug free.
I mean, what game is these days? Though,
well,
really?
I mean, this one really is not bug free.
That's too bad, because now at this point, it's like 2 months after it came out, like you would expect.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
some patches.
It's got some technical issues. Like I said, I'm still enjoying it because I just want to. I just want a single player Star Wars narrative where I can run around and smack stormtroopers with a lightsaber. That's all. With some
I get it.
John Williams-y music playing in the background. That's
what you want.
I'll tolerate a little jank.
Did you ever play Battlefront 2?
No, I did not.
No.
I did not.
First Battlefront? Did you play that?
Minimal.
Minimal? Yeah.
Minimal.
I played that a little bit too.
But I mean, but that's like, that's not really narrative driven.
No,
right?
It's not narrative.
Yeah.
At all.
See,
no.
I want the narrative. I want a Star Wars story. So that's what I'm.
Yeah. That's, I wanted to play those games too, but it was kind of along the same lines where it's like, the campaign isn't really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I am enjoying this on a narrative level. I'm having fun with the story and the characters and everything. And, the environments are very Star Warsy in nature and everything like that. The one kind of big technical glitch that I've been finding that was cracking me up as I was playing it is, there's parts, where your characters are interacting with each other, and it's all in-game stuff. It's not, it doesn't cut away to like a pre-rendered scene or anything. But like you get back into your ship, you go out and have a little mission, and you get back to your ship, and there's a couple other characters in the ship that you're talking to and just kind of explaining the plot and everything. But you are still able to move around, so, you can have this conversation, but also kind of run around and explore the ship a little bit, which is great. but apparently the way the game is scripted is they have it so your character is talking to the NPC, and when you're having a conversation with the NPC, the game is programmed in such a way that your character is always looking at the NPC.
Yeah.
So
Oh no.
just to make it look natural when you're standing next to these other characters, it's like,
sure,
okay,
so you can,
you're not. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm looking at you. It's cinematic.
So you're not talking to the wall next to them.
Right.
Yeah.
But then if I decide, I'm going to walk over here and look at what's on this wall, I start to walk away, and I'm walking away like normal. But then like a second later, the game remembers, oh crap, we're supposed to be looking at her. So you can just, you can hear the cracking as your character's neck flips and does like a 180 turn as you're running away, but your head is looking directly behind you at the character you're supposed to be talking to.
That's great.
And it's hilarious. And, and you walk back and your head slowly rotates back to the way it should be. And it's weird, but whatever. I'm having
in
fun
a good way.
I'm having fun with it. Real quick, I picked up this week for Switch one of the new Arcade Archives games.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Bells and Whistles.
I don't remember that in the arcade.
You know what?
And Whistles.
Bells and Whistles, a Konami shooter. What it is, it's one of those Twin Bee games.
I see. Okay.
The old vertical scrolling Q-tem ups.
Q-tem up. Wow. Did you come up with that, or is that something you stole?
Q-tem ups?
Yeah.
You've never heard Q-tem up before?
I don't think so. No.
That's been around since pretty much,
quite some time.
Fantasy Zone, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Your Fantasy Zones, your Cottons, your Twin Bees. Yeah.
Maybe.
Those are Q-tem ups.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's what is it? Detana Twin Bee, to be specific, to use its original Japanese name. Apparently, it was released in the U.S. back in the day as Bells and Whistles.
That sounds about right.
I certainly never saw that game in any of my arcades.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would have played it had I.
I know, right? It's a Twin Bee game though, so it is a fun little vertical shooter.
Well, I remember like EGM and Game Fan would cover the Twin Bee games.
Oh, absolutely.
A thing, and never referred to it as Bells and Whistles.
Yeah.
Which I assume they would have done if they had seen it.
Yeah,
just one of those Japanese softs.
Yeah.
Japanese softs.
We did get Stinger for the NES, which was a Twin Bee game.
We got Blue Stinger for the Dreamcast.
That is not
unrelated.
That is not.
Maybe
it's not a Twin Bee game. Not a Twin Bee game.
No.
But
a terrible game in general.
It was clearly a joke.
I don't think it was. I think you believed that was a Twin Bee game.
For a second
I mean
there.
the game was clearly a joke.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe you were just ignorant.
Blue Stinker.
Oh, now that's too far, man. People worked on that game. But
it's fine.
But I did check because I know I have that Konami Classics arcade collection that they came out with. Do you remember that?
I keep considering that and then never really pulling the trigger on it.
Because that has like some of the greatest games and stuff like that. It also has the first Twin Bee game on there, and Bells and Whistles is one of the sequels. So if so you can buy both and not worry about double dipping.
I do enjoy me a Twin Bee game.
Well, get Bells and Whistles, man.
Maybe I should.
And it's because it's one of the
simultaneous. Sure,
that is true. And it's the arcade. One of them arcade
archives.
Y'all got fake poo
archives. And so it's got the Japanese version on there as well. If you really insist on playing it with that Twin Bee title screen, it's on there. So don't worry. Took a couple little trips into virtual reality this week on my PlayStation 4.
Did you turn into the Lawnmower Man?
I wish I had Jeff Fahey's dashing good looks.
So
his name?
Jeff Fahey,
Jeff Fahey. Look at that.
That's good.
Why do I remember that?
Why do you remember that?
I don't know.
Now, do you remember his character name from Lost?
The Lawnmower Man.
No.
He played the Lawnmower Man. He fought the smoke monster. I do not remember his name on Lost. Jack? Was he
Lapidus.
Jack?
Frank Lapidus.
Was he Penny?
I thought you said
No.
Lapinus for a second.
Lapidus.
That's a weird
That
name.
is French for the penis. I'm surprised you didn't know that, Greg. I thought that's the sort of thing they taught in your schools.
That's day one. That's the first day of French in elementary.
Como se dice en français?
The penis.
See that? One sentence, 3 languages, man. I am a cultured individual.
That's how I describe you.
Like, well, you know what I did? See, here's the shameful part. I finally finished Astrobot. Remember
I saw that you-
Astrobot?
Yeah, I saw that you played that this week, and I'm like, didn't he already go
Remember
through it?
Astrobot, my game
That
of
was
the
your-
year and
Yeah.
one of my games of the decade, I believe. I finally finished it.
Oh,
finally-
wow.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things where, you know, because I was like right at the end. I was like right at I had one level left to go, and it was one of those things where it was like, if I play
want
this
it to end.
level, it's over.
Right.
That's it. And I finally bit the bullet and said, you know what? I gotta do this. So I played that last level, and you know what? I take that back. There was 2 levels. There was the final level, and then there was the penultimate level, and then the final level was a boss fight. And then, spoiler alert, there's a final boss fight as well. So I had 1 stage and 2 boss fights. And that game is so friggin' good. Seriously, that game is amazing. And spoiler alert for this 2-year-old game at this point.
Yeah.
Did you guys play this game? I forget. Greg
Oh, I
did.
loved it.
Greg
I
finished
played
it,
through
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not played
CJ
it. No.
did not.
I don't have PSVR.
Spoiler alert for, I guess, the penultimate boss.
You mean so the extra best boss? Penultimate?
Yes.
That means?
Yeah, it's like very ultimate.
It's
yeah,
very
like
ultimate.
one level above ultimate is the penultimate. Remember how I talked about how those water levels in that game trigger anxiety in me?
Yeah.
Woo! Final boss is just like they just plop you in the middle of the ocean,
Oh.
and there's just a big ass shark just burst out of nowhere and starts attacking you, and I'm just sweating bullets the whole time. I was just like, I don't need this, man. I don't need this stress in my life in the last stage of this game. But I got through it. You know, I steeled myself, and I defeated the giant robot shark.
Okay.
And then the final boss was super clever. Do you remember what the final boss was, Greg?
No.
Okay, so again, spoilers for Astrobot.
Yeah.
The final boss, you are in outer space, and there's a little bit where you're kind of jumping on satellites to get to like the final boss confrontation, and it's this giant alien in a spaceship.
Oh yeah. I remember.
And
this.
it has he busts out a PlayStation VR helmet and puts it on.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a giant DualShock controller, and he starts attacking you with all the weapons that you were using in the game. Because in Astrobot, during certain stages, you can get little add-ons for your DualShock, your little in-game DualShock, where you could shoot like saw blades or shoot water and stuff like that. And so he's using that against you. And then after you do some attacks and stuff to him, you actually end up taking control of his giant DualShock and attacking him with it.
Right.
And it is super clever and super fun. And boy, that game is good. I love Astrobot. I hope there's more.
It is so good.
It is really good.
I can only imagine they will do more Astrobot. Everybody loves that game.
Well, it's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good. It's a shame, CJ, that you have wasted so many thousands of hours of your life playing the stupid pirate game, and you haven't even taken like, what is that game, like 5 hours, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Go buy
I don't have
go
PSVR.
buy the damn
I don't have
VR.
PSVR.
It's
No.
$200 or whatever. You can get it cheapish.
Buy it used.
Buy it used.
Wait until they put
So
out
it
a
has
refresh.
somebody else's face sweat on it.
Ugh. The other VR game I played this week was I bought this game on a whim through Limited Run games because I think I just happened to pop online when a message went out. It was like, oh, hey, this game is available. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. I'll get it before it sells out. It's Polybius from CJ's
Jeff Minter.
CJ's good friend Jeff Minter.
Mhm.
This is it's a Jeff Minter game, so it's a retro styled arcade shooter. And now you can play it in virtual reality. And boy, if you guys ever want a seizure,
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys are looking for a seizure.
No, thank you.
That game, holy crap, it's fun. It's fun, and it is. It's you're racing along, like you're kind of racing into the screen. It's not like Tempest where you're just kind of going around a little grid. You're actually racing forward into the screen, and there are obstacles and enemies that come out and shoot at you, and you're just blowing up everything. And there are gates you can go through, and if you go through the gates, there's kind of a psychedelic color of explosion that'll knock down enemies and barriers, and it's a high score chase kind of thing, like you would expect from Jeff Minter. And of course, there's the kind of techno soundtrack that you would expect as well. But holy crap, and especially in VR when it is just around you. When you first boot up the game, there's like half a dozen screens of like, this game has flashing images. If you get motion sickness or are prone to seizures, do not play this game. Press X if you understand.
Ask for a refund.
Now move the controller or the cursor over to yes and confirm again if you consent to play this game because it could possibly kill you, kind of thing. So they're really covering their bases, but it's a fun game though. It's a fun game. I didn't throw up or anything, so
that's a plus.
I made it out alive.
Another win.
That is a win.
So yeah, I'm glad I got it. Why not? Final game I played this week. This is a weird one. I noticed this on Switch the other day. Crayon Shin-Chan, The Storm Called, Flaming Kasukabe Runner, to use its full title.
Okay.
Crayon Shin-Chan, The Storm Called, Flaming Kasukabe
Is
Runner.
it the official game of the movie?
Peter Jackson's Crayon Shin-Chan, The Storm Called, Flaming Kasukabe Runner, the official game of the movie, EX plus alpha.
Yeah.
It's a Crayon Shin-Chan. Are you familiar with the Crayon Shin-Chan?
Yep.
I am.
Crayon Shin-Chan. Manga / anime character. They did a kind of an adult themed redub of the cartoon a few years ago. Well, probably more than a few years ago at this point, but that
Like
played on
15
adults.
years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was more than 10 years ago.
Was it really?
Yes.
Is it really more than 10 years ago? Holy crap. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
It was on Adult Swim, though.
It was. Yes.
Yes.
Funimation did it. Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, it's Crayon Shin-Chan, little comedy series about a rude child.
Yes.
lot of poop jokes, a lot of pee jokes. So it's right up my
That's
alley.
why Phil likes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of showing your butt.
A lot of showing your butt.
And
Absolutely.
Your
Yep. And this is, if I believe, the first Crayon Shin-Chan game to
your
reach
Lapidus. Yeah.
to reach consoles in the United States.
You're probably correct in that.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
It is a port of an iOS game that is available.
Not shocking.
Now you're selling me on it.
Here
Not
in the West.
shocking.
It is a cheapo endless runner that you can tell originated as a mobile game because boy oh boy, it's got all those free to play trappings. But they have, because this is a premium product, they
quadruple A.
They have removed all those free to play aspects. So I don't know. That sounds like game of the year candidate there. Taking a free to play game and finally removing. I felt like I was on a trip to Belgium. but it's obviously not good.
Well, yeah, I would expect not.
But
I'm so glad we spent all this time talking about it.
Well, I had
it's like $10, right?
I had a bunch of gold coins.
Right.
So for me, it was free. So I guess it is free to play if you have a bunch of gold coins.
Have enough coins,
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, just because it was so weird and just the novelty of it, I was like, I gotta get this.
Gotta get that
terrible thing. But yeah, I mean, it's not good, but it's there. So
what a great reason to play a video game. It's not good, but it's there. It exists.
Yeah. So
okay.
But there that is.
I would imagine like the menus are in English because obviously localized, but the menus are voice samples would be in Japanese.
The menus technically are in English.
Technically,
the words are in English. The syntax may not necessarily be in English.
Somebody put it through the Google Translate,
that. But yeah, the voice samples and everything are definitely all the Japanese.
Okay.
So if you want to hear, little Japanese kid yelling while you play an endless runner, have I got the game for you? Crayon Shin-Chan, the storm called Flaming Kasukabe Runner. Kasukabe, by the way, is the town in which Crayon Shin-Chan takes place.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I looked that up because I was like, I know what most of these words mean. I do not know what Kasukabe is. But yeah, it's the town in which
it means donut.
Is that's not no.
No.
I
don't know.
When I went to
Japan, they bring shows to America and they're eating something. It's a donut. That's what I meant.
It's a rice ball, but it's a donut. Yeah. I didn't eat at Mr. Kasukabe when I went to Japan. I ate at Mr. Donut. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Donut was great.
Which I did. I did go.
I
Mr.
did
Donut
do that
last
too.
time I was in Japan. Why would you
not? Why would you not?
I went way out of my way. The Mr. Donut was a several block walk from my hotel that I was staying at. But
there used to be one in Akihabara, but I think that one closed.
Oh yeah. I did not see one when I was over in Akihabara this time.
But it's delicious.
But yeah, well, of course they're donuts.
Yeah,
they're donuts. Donuts are delicious. As you can tell by my physique, donuts are delicious. All right. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, I guess then that means it's time for tweets. That's your cue.
Well, I figure you could just edit the one I did earlier and put it here.
the one. Yeah, or I could just do this.
Tweet.
Well, now that's going to sound all screwed up.
Hold on, we'll do a
clean one. I didn't stop mine for.
We'll do a clean one. Tweet. Tweet, tweet. We're gonna give another tweet, everybody. We're gonna get around. We're gonna talk about a tweet. The flaming Kasukabe runners.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias P.O. Rowe, who says 7 out of 10 of the best-selling games of the last 10 years are Call of Duty games.
That's a made-up statistic. I don't believe that for a second. People can make up stats.
True.
It's absolutely true. The NPD released a bunch of stats about the past decade.
Notorious liars.
Then also released like the best-selling games in like 5-year chunks from 1995 up to 2019.
Yeah,
very interesting stuff actually. That's on Twitter. I'll link to it in the show notes so you can check it out. But P.O. says, does this really represent the tastes of gamers? Are we just obsessed with war and killing? I guess it depends what kind of gamer you are. Right?
I mean, yeah.
Video gamers like to shoot at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have an answer. It would appear so.
It would appear. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
I like shooting stuff in video games.
People like to shoot.
Sure. Yeah, they do.
Call of Duty's got that name recognition.
It's all those murder simulators from the mid-90s.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
decade in the 2000s, sports games were huge. And obviously sports games were still pretty big in 2010s. But yeah, it was dominated by Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Do you think the rise of esports has a lot to do with that, though?
Is Call of Duty an esport? I don't watch Call of Duty. I've watched.
Well, I've seen televised Call of Duty tournaments.
Okay.
Really?
So, I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah. I've seen Overwatch League. I've watched Fortnite stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Fortnite. I don't know. Oh,
Call of Duty, Fortnite.
There's some shooter.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Seriously, what is the difference?
Counter-Strike.
It's probably Counter-Strike.
I can't play as Ninja in Call of Duty now, can I?
No, you can't. Do you want to play as Ninja?
I want to play as Ninja in every game.
What do you think the next game should be that adds Ninja?
Mario Kart.
Monster.
Crayon Shin-Chan, the storm called Flaming Kasukabe Runner.
Great.
Now with more Ninja. I don't know.
I'd love to see that. Just yeah. It actually happened. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think video gamers like to shoot things. I think Activision has done a very good job doing a yearly update to Call of Duty, where it's sort of turned into the game a lot of more mature gamers play.
More mature. For a certain more mature, definition of more mature.
We all know people who like buy the new Call of Duty every year, right? Just like sports gamers buy the new Madden or whatever each year. That's
used to know
a
people
large
that did
population.
That. I don't think, but yeah, it's still a large group.
I think we've aged out of it now.
Yeah,
but
I think so. But our demographic doesn't really matter. We're all over 35, so it doesn't really. Yeah. Phil's really over 35, so it doesn't really matter.
It's true. He's playing Crayon Shin-Chan.
Yeah.
Instead.
That's the most popular old person game these days.
Obsessed with running and yeah.
He's CJ games what he can't do in real life.
CJ.
What?
You know what? You can make fun of me being old all you want, but please have the respect to use the full title. Crayon Shin-Chan, the storm called the Flaming Kasukabe Runner. Please.
I will try. I will try in the future. Yes.
Thank you.
Hacker alias Daniel Nolan 3 says, does the news about Xbox Series X having no exclusives at launch help you guys make your decision about whether or not to purchase one? I recently purchased a 1X, and this news confirmed for me that I will only be buying a PS5 this fall. Here's the thing about this.
Oh,
straight up.
Here comes.
The idea that Xbox as an ecosystem is not going to have exclusives this year is incorrect.
Oh. Sounds like
Right.
someone has some
So
insider info.
No, I don't. But thinking of Xbox, the headline Xbox Series X to have no exclusives. That's a clickbait article title that is, I think,
When
not,
does that ever happen in the video games?
Yeah.
not close to being reality. So it's the fact that those games will also be on PC and Xbox One from first party.
Mhm.
We don't know what the case is with third parties, whether there will be some exclusives. We have no idea, or how multi-platform games have gone in the past few years, having exclusive content. Like, we don't know what that sort of picture looks like for really any platform that is coming out later this year. So it's maybe a little early to completely write off Xbox because of the clickbait headline. There are going to be no exclusives at launch.
Let me translate CJ's whole speech to you. If
The
Sea of Thieves 2
storm
comes out,
calls.
it ain't coming to PS5. Am I?
That's
But
But it
is
wasn't
that-
ever going to.
It was
Yeah.
never going to.
Is that? Yeah.
No,
There
they're
you
not
go.
doing Sea of Thieves 2.
You don't know that.
They're still updating the first one.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. My goodness.
What do you guys think?
What was the question?
Something about Sea of Thieves. I don't know.
The clickbait headline: Xbox Series X is going to have no exclusives at launch.
Yeah, it's
Does that
misleading.
help make your decision about purchasing one?
Well, I said earlier that it did. So I mean,
I'm certainly more interested in buying a PS5 due to what is likely to come out for PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think in
And,
both of
I
your
mean-
cases, you have been more PlayStation gamers than you are Xbox
Well, I have
gamers
been this generation. Last
Yeah,
because-
this generation.
Yeah, Xbox 360, it was, I think, a
Oh, different story.
little different.
But I mean, knowing I'm actually happy about this because if forward compatibility is a thing, then if there are games that I'm still interested in,
You can still get them.
I can still play them.
And those first party games will be on Game Pass day and date, so you'll have them.
Right. So I mean, like I'm all for this. This is a good thing in every way, as far as I'm concerned. So,
Yeah.
and it has helped to make my decision. If I buy a new console this year, it at this point it'll be a PS5. Now, who knows what information we learn in the next 6 months? But
Right. At this point, not knowing anything about what games
right,
that are unannounced at this point will play on it,
right,
you're still in the PlayStation ecosystem.
yes.
And that makes sense.
Mhm.
For sure. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Mathman1024, who says, what food/healing item from a video game would you like to have in real life? Assume that the game effects are the same for you in the real world.
Road
Oh.
turkey.
Road
What, like-
turkey.
Like you beat up a barrel and find it inside.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Are you talking about like Streets of Rage where you beat
Yeah.
up a barrel and find a fully roasted turkey
Yeah.
inside?
And it heals you, makes you
Yeah.
feel better. See, I'd go for
Yeah.
the wall pork.
Wall pork also works. Yeah.
You know, whip a wall.
Wall pork.
Who's got a
someone's-
whip on them though?
Someone
Who carries a
see-
whip?
Shh.
That
Look,
was
if I'm
really
gonna-
the first thing I thought of was Streets of Rage, like the various food items, including the huge apple that makes the
Oh yeah.
noise, like when you
That
bend down to boo. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Huge apple.
Huge apple.
Huge apple.
Huge apple played Wolverine, if you remember correctly. He was brilliant in the role. I can't
I don't
can't
think
imagine
that's
who's going to
correct.
replace him.
I don't think that's correct.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Oh man. What are some other
Food
good video
items.
game food? Trying to
I
think
don't
of
know.
trying to think of video game food here.
what about Bonk's Adventure, like a
Oh,
big
the big beef that
beef.
causes your head to split open and a mushroom cloud
Yeah.
bursts out of it.
What
I don't
happens
want
when I
that to
drink diet
happen.
soda?
Why not?
I don't want that to happen to me.
No.
No.
That's what happens when I drink diet soda. That's what it feels like anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
I get the biggest
Goodness.
headaches when I drink
all that aspartame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Mario mushroom? Make you Make you big.
Take you right to Mario World.
Yeah.
Magic Mario mushroom.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
What about oh my god, I had it and now it's gone. Oh, Bloodstained. Lots of really great dishes in Bloodstained that do all kinds of really wonderful things.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of different recipes in that game.
There's some delicious stuff in Breath of the Wild that you can make. Then there's also the food that's pixelated out when you make a mistake.
Oh yeah,
right.
The hideous
The hideous food, yeah.
hideous food,
whatever
yeah.
it's called.
Yeah.
I feel like we've answered this question enough. Let's move on, CJ. Good Lord, we're sitting
how
here
about
humming
some Yoshi's cookies? They don't do anything but make a kind of boring puzzle game.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Insipid Ghost, who says, given your experiences talking with developers from indie to AAA, how have delays affected studio morale? I'd imagine it can vary depending. Any insight?
I think the answer is exactly that. It can vary depending. I mean, if you've got a game that the team really believes in, it can be a good thing.
Yeah. I think it depends also, like, if that schedule meant that they had to drop features that they really would have wanted to get in, it can be a bit of a relief, right? To be able to have that time to either polish things up or put features in that would have had to go missing or wait for an update. But then also there's this sort of marathon game where it can be entirely, and I think the conversation this week has been around crunch and how delaying a game doesn't lessen the need. Or,
if anything, it usually adds to it.
If anything, it usually adds that. Like, it doesn't alleviate it. It only extends it. And even for indie developers, like delays that last too long or like multiple delays can have a serious impact on morale, especially since, depending on the indie studio, it's fewer people working on it.
Right.
So that can have a definite impact.
And I mean, there's other, it can be the other way around too. If you got a game that hasn't turned out the way you hoped it would.
Yeah.
And then there's an extension for some reason or other, not necessarily to make the game better, because 6 months isn't a 6-month delay isn't a very long time in a video game life cycle.
Right.
It's like,
that's why I'm kind of surprised.
So let's continue this death march, right. So, but morale's usually pretty low in those situations anyway. So it doesn't really matter as much, I guess.
That's why it's a little bit surprising, like the Final Fantasy VII remake delay of a month. It's like, what could they really have added or fixed?
Reduces the day one patch by gigabyte.
Yeah, exactly. It reduces the size of the day one patch, and maybe they found something that would be completely game breaking that they had.
I think that's probably exactly what it is. It's probably some kind of game breaking bug that was discovered at the 0 hour that they they just can't ship with,
or they can't ship on the disc with it.
Yeah.
So they had to push back production of that. Like, because day one patches are a different thing, but having a game breaking bug on the disc is hard to deal with for sure. All right. Let's do one more tweet. And it's going to be Hacker Alias.
One more tweet. One more tweet.
You're welcome. Hacker Alias Sean Capri says, I was wondering if Sam Raimi or Satan had any interest in directing the Uncharted movie. Seems like either would probably do a good enough job at this point.
No, probably not.
No,
really.
Satan's not a director, and I'm sure Sam Raimi has other projects he's working on at the moment.
Like what?
I don't know.
You haven't heard from him recently?
What am I, his agent?
Yes.
Boy. Okay, here's the bit about Uncharted. Let's see what we can do.
back away from the microphone just a little bit while you're doing that.
You are
Right up
like
on
crazy.
We have to blow out the levels.
9 or 10 Niner. This is Sam Raimi, and I'm going to tell you about the Uncharted movie.
I understand that we're talking about Not Charted, the mysteries of Beyond the Jungle, starring Nathan Fillion as Bruce Campbell, who's going on an exciting adventure to fight zombies in the Great White North of South Africa. It's going to be great. A hoot and a holler. I don't know. There you go. There you go. Bruce Campbell is Sully. That would probably actually work, though.
Would
So
actually
it's not
work
really.
I was going to
well.
say, he might make a good Sully.
That's not really much of a bit. He'd probably actually do a very good job.
Yeah.
With that.
Mm.
There you go. Is that what you want?
Yep.
Is that
Dance.
That's exactly what
Dance.
Jeez, Louise.
This is what you're here for. This is what you. This
right
is
up
what
on
you.
the microphone when you do it.
What?
This is what you've been reduced to.
Give the
Back
microphone
to the
a little
microphone.
breathe.
Apparently, I talk too loud.
Yes.
Sheepers creepers. I don't understand technology these days.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
I think
we're done.
I think
Oh,
we
is
did
that
it.
the show?
Please,
With
please
that-
let's be done.
And this is our show for today. Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a great time.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD from Mr. Greg Seward.
Pretty old entries at this point.
True. You will find Generation 16 episodes there.
The new script for the new episode is ginormous. Very excited.
really?
Very excited
Yeah.
about this one.
Nice.
So it's still a ways off and being done, but another major piece of information that I've been looking for actually came through today with the help of a friend. And yeah, super excited about it.
Nice.
Cool.
It's coming along.
You will find show notes and links to everything that we talked about this episode, and you will find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss video games and
Computer entertainment.
and
What
movies.
does the game doctor have to say about this?
Movies, television
Not much.
shows, all kinds of stuff with us and our other listeners.
You can talk about the latest Hollywood hits, the latest blockbuster films from Tinseltown.
Tinseltown.
Okay.
There's a phrase that doesn't get used enough anymore.
It does in my house. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Bruce and I talk about it all the time.
Bruce lives with you?
Why wouldn't he? We're the best of friends. We have adventures together in Hollywood land.
Wow.
Join us
Please.
at the Brown Derby. We're going to have
The
a
Doiby?
big show. The Brown Derby. We're going to have a big show. We're going to save the youth center from those rotten developers who want to turn it into a parking lot.
Is this the Goonies now?
Oh, I thought it was a country club.
Yeah, they wanted the Goonies was the country club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it wasn't a
This is
youth
just a
center.
parking lot.
It was all of the Goondocks.
The Goondocks.
The Goondocks, those rich jerks wanted to turn the Goondocks. They had to find One-Eyed Willie's rich stuff. Which is not a euphemism for anything. But it kind of is.
Okay.
What? If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com.
Cheap. It kind of fits there.
Sure.
Well,
Or by loading up whatever podcast application you use to listen
that's
to
true.
podcasts these days.
It's
There's
free.
so many.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
Cheap is free.
Mm.
We're on Stitcher. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can punch us in the necks if you see us walking around.
Oh, I don't want that. No,
Yeah,
my
don't-
neck.
Is what that kid would say.
Every time they look into Shelbyville, they will know that they suck.
Launch me, boys.
Faster said he's got a taste for meat now. That was a classic episode.
Shake harder, boy.
Shake harder.
Oh,
This is the best.
radical.
That's my thing that I say.
Stop copying me.
This is what it feels like when doves cry.
What's the matter, boy? Is there something behind that bush we should beat up? There's a lemon behind that rock. We could just do the whole episode
There's
for the
a lemon
I
behind
guess we
that rock. We
could.
should, yeah.
There's a lemon behind that rock.
Quiet, everyone. An old man's talking.
That sums up this podcast.
Yeah, this
in general.
podcast in general.
Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna explode. Anyway, where was I? We're on a lot of things. You can find it. It's the internet. You'll find us. You can also
Watch us live.
oh yeah, you can watch us live. Thank you, Christopher.
Thank
You can watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. Follow our Twitter account, friends, to find out when we'll be doing our next live show. Hey, and if you like what you've heard, and how could you, you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ needs a PSVR so he can play Astrobot finally.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
We're fine with him embezzling our funds if it's
For
going to help
that
him
purpose.
for
It's
that
okay
purpose
for
and that purpose alone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
But seriously, friendos, your Patreon donations do keep the lights on. Really, it helps us broadcast live through this Zoom
true.
thing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It keeps the lights on, and as a special treat, as a reward, as a goodie, to all of our Patreon friends of the $5 or only tier. Is that the only tier? Is there like a
There's
$1
$1 and a $5 tier.
You $1 people
That's right.
don't get nothing.
Except
Not
for our
even
thanks.
not even
Except for
our
our thanks. No, you do get
you
our thanks.
cheapskate. No, I'm kidding, of course. No, we love it. We love you. You $1 tightwads. But for our generous $5 friends, you do gain access to a special bonus episode post show that we record every week right after this, where we play games, we crack wise, we have fun, we tell dirty jokes. We
No.
we read our fan fiction, our erotic
No.
fan fiction.
Also
You never know what's going to happen next.
Not as advertised.
None of those things.
Join us, won't you? And if you have a couple bucks left over, be sure to head over to generation-16.com, where you'll find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you for your quality content.
Do my best.
And you do it well. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Appreciated. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Thank you, Phil.
And of course, a big old special thank you to you, the listener, you wonderful, wonderful person, you. We appreciate you. We
Yes.
love you. Even if you are just a $1 Patreon friend
true.
or
It's
a no dollar Patreon friend. We
That's
love
true,
everybody.
too. We
Man,
do.
We're easy. Forget about
Pretty
it.
much.
That's true.
Pretty
You're all
Spread it
great.
around.
You're
Yeah.
all great, man. And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.